Deep in Southeast Asia lies a mysterious country whose history is woven with contrasts, much like an ancient Khmer manuscript. Cambodia, the land of the majestic temples of Angkor Wat, where every stone holds the secrets of a vanished civilization, and where scenes from the famous film about Tomb Raider Lara Croft were shot. Yet behind this tourist facade lies a dark history that many prefer to remain silent about. The shocking genocide of the Khmer Rouge era, which claimed the lives of a quarter of the country's population. How could it happen that the great Khmer Empire transformed into one of the poorest countries in Asia? What enigmatic rituals are still performed in the lost jungles, far from the tourist trails? Today, we will delve into an iceberg format. From surface-level, well-known facts, we will sink deeper, uncovering the mysteries of this remarkable country, where ancient deities coexist with modern technology, and where one can try fried tarantulas at the markets. Prepare for a journey into the depths of knowledge about Cambodia, a nation that, after all its trials, has emerged with one of the youngest populations in the world, and is now rising like a phoenix from the ashes of its tragic history. But the mysteries of Cambodia only begin as we approach its sacred monuments. Fact number 1. A colossal temple concealing messages from starry gods. Majestic Angkor Wat is not just an ancient temple, it is the largest religious complex on our planet, sprawling over an area of 200 hectares. This enigmatic monument is so vital to the national identity of the Khmer people that Cambodia has become the only country in the world to feature an architectural structure on its national flag. But what compelled the ancient builders to create such a grand edifice? Some researchers assert that the locations of the Angkor temples precisely correspond to the positions of stars in the constellation Draco, as if the builders received blueprints from celestial beings. Locals whisper of strange lights that sometimes appear above the central tower of the temple on moonless nights. Angkor Wat has captured the attention of not only scholars and tourists, but also the global film industry. It served as a backdrop for scenes in the famous film Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, as well as in Jean-Jacques Annaud's Two Brothers. Yet the most intriguing question remains unanswered. Why did a civilization capable of creating such an architectural wonder suddenly decline? Some archaeologists suggest that a catastrophic drought could have been the cause, while others point to wars with neighboring states. There are even those who believe in an ancient curse placed upon the Khmers for some forgotten sacrilege. Touching the cool stones of Angkor Wat, one feels an invisible connection to those who carved thousands of bas-reliefs with remarkable precision without the aid of modern tools. And every year, archaeologists armed with LiDAR scanners and ground-penetrating radars uncover new temples, new streets, new mysteries of the ancient Khmer Empire hidden beneath the jungle. Fact 2. Phnom Penh, a mysterious capital where the waters of 4 rivers merge and the destinies of countless generations intertwine. Leaving the sacred temples of Angkor, we move to the only truly large city in Cambodia, which harbors equally enigmatic stories. At the confluence of 4 great rivers, the Mekong, Tonle Sap, Basak, and Tonle Toch, lies a city once breathlessly referred to as the Pearl of Asia. But what led to such veneration of this place among the ancient Khmer? Some historians believe that its geographical location at the intersection of waterways made it an ideal center for power and trade, while others point to ancient legends about the mystical properties of the water at the confluence, which bestowed special protection and blessings upon rulers. As you stroll through the streets of modern Phnom Penh, you can't help but feel the remarkable contrast. Majestic colonial buildings from the French era stand side by side with ultra-modern skyscrapers of glass and concrete, while luxurious 5-star hotels are located just a stone's throw away from the humble abodes of ordinary Cambodians. This duality creates a sense of a city out of time, where the past and present coexist in parallel sometimes intersecting in the most unexpected places. Locals share tales of strange phenomena. Occasionally, in the pre-dawn hours along the waterfront, one might glimpse silhouettes of ancient Khmer warriors dissolving with the first rays of the sun. Scholars dismiss these stories as folkloric fabrications, but how can one explain the numerous photographs capturing blurred figures that defy identification? Phnom Penh keeps its secrets behind the facades of its buildings, in quiet temples and bustling markets, in the tales of its elders, and in the silent monuments. And although modern researchers, armed with advanced technologies, strive to uncover the mysteries of this extraordinary city, many enigmas remain unanswered, as if the city deliberately conceals its true essence from curious eyes. Perhaps it is this unresolved nature that lends Phnom Penh its unique charm, compelling visitors to return again and again in search of answers to eternal questions. Fact 3. The Orange Silence, the mysterious world of Theravada Buddhism, which envelops Cambodia in an invisible spiritual web. Leaving the bustling streets of Phnom Penh with its contrasts and unsolved mysteries, we immerse ourselves in a deeper, almost tangible layer of Cambodian reality, the world of the ancient form of Buddhism that permeates every aspect of life in this enigmatic country. Remarkably, about 95% of Cambodia's population adheres to Theravada Buddhism, creating a unique spiritual unity that has survived even in the darkest periods of the country's history. What compels an entire nation to adhere to this teaching with such consistency? Some anthropologists argue that the Buddhist acceptance of suffering as a part of life helped the Khmer people endure the tragic events of the 20th century, while others see it as a manifestation of an ancient, yet unresolved connection between the Khmer soul and the cosmic rhythms of the universe. At dawn, when the first rays of the sun paint the sky in soft pink hues, the streets of Cambodian towns and villages fill with figures in orange robes. Monks emerge to collect alms, creating a truly mystical spectacle. The gentle ringing of bells, bare feet touching the cool morning earth, silent blessings. This scene repeats day after day, century after century, connecting the present with deep antiquity. The remarkable tradition of temporary monkhood is still alive in Cambodia. Almost every man dons saffron robes at least once in his life and spends from several days to several months in a monastery, studying Buddhist scriptures and meditating. Locals speak of inexplicable phenomena occurring during meditation: levitation, telepathic communication, visions of past lives. Modern science is skeptical of these testimonies, but how can one explain the documented cases in which monks predicted events that subsequently occurred with astonishing accuracy? Perhaps hidden within this ancient practice are secrets of human consciousness that Western science is only beginning to grasp. The Buddhist temples of Cambodia harbor ancient manuscripts containing forgotten meditation techniques, and some researchers believe they may hold the key to unlocking the potential of the human mind, of which we are barely aware. Yet the monks guard this knowledge, passing it only to select students, believing that the world is not yet ready for the full revelation of these mysteries. And as the orange figures silently glide through the streets, carrying with them fragments of ancient wisdom, we can only wonder, what other incredible secrets lie behind the serene smiles of Cambodia's Buddhist monks? Fact 4. The Dollar Mystery, an invisible economic incursion into the heart of the ancient Khmer Empire. Leaving the sacred spaces of Buddhist temples with their mystical practices and undisclosed secrets, we encounter yet another astonishing phenomenon of contemporary Cambodia: the ghostly presence of the American dollar, which has mysteriously woven itself into the economic fabric of this ancient land. Imagine the surprise of a traveler who, upon arriving in a country of millennia-old temples and ancient legends, discovers that they can pay with a currency born on the other side of the world. How is this possible? Following the catastrophic economic collapse of the 1970s, when the Khmer Rouge regime virtually obliterated the country's financial system, The dollar infiltrated Cambodia's economy like an invisible conqueror, gradually becoming the dominant force in trade relations. Today, we witness a truly mystical economic dualism. The riel, the national currency adorned with images of ancient temples and kings, is used for small purchases and in remote villages, while the dollar reigns supreme in cities, hotels, and restaurants. Strange and inexplicable, yet ATMs across the country dispense not riels but dollars, as if some invisible force has decreed that this foreign currency should flow through the economic arteries of the ancient Khmer Empire. Anthropologists and economists are divided on this phenomenon. Some see it as a consequence of deep historical traumas and a loss of faith in the national currency. Others interpret it as a manifestation of global economic trends, while yet others perceive it as a peculiar protective mechanism created by the collective unconscious of the Khmer people after decades of economic instability. Tourists arriving in Cambodia face a remarkable paradox. They do not need to exchange money, as though they have never left the confines of their own country. Locals effortlessly switch between the two currencies, performing lightning-fast calculations in their minds, raising the question, could this be evidence of unique mathematical abilities that have developed as a result of this unusual economic situation? In remote temples, one may encounter elders who recount ancient tales of how the gods foretold the arrival of foreign signs of wealth in their land. Could the ancient Khmers have foreseen the dollarization of their economy 1,000 years ago? Or is this merely a coincidence, a play of imagination striving to connect the past with the present? In any case, Cambodia's dollar economy remains one of the most intriguing mysteries of modern Southeast Asia, reminding us of how closely intertwined ancient secrets and contemporary realities are in this land. Fact 5. The mystery of Khmer cuisine, where aromas meet ancient traditions. Delving into the culinary depths of Cambodia, we encounter the astonishing world of Khmer cuisine, which rightfully deserves its reputation as one of the most enigmatic in Southeast Asia. Unlike its neighboring Thai and Vietnamese cuisines, renowned for their spicy and pungent dishes, Khmer cuisine warmly embraces us with its delicate flavors and unique aromas. Central to many Khmer dishes is the fish sauce called prahok, which immediately evokes mixed feelings among travelers. With its distinctive, almost inimitable scent, prahok, made from fermented fish, becomes not merely an ingredient, but a true symbol of Khmer gastronomy. This sauce not only imparts an unparalleled flavor to dishes, but also connects the Khmer people to their maritime traditions, transporting us to a world of ancient fishermen who have utilized it for centuries. Equally mysterious is the traditional amak, a dish that can be described as a curry with coconut milk, prepared with fragrant herbs and spices. In this dish, all the aromas of Cambodia blend together, creating a true symphony of flavors that captivates even the most discerning gourmets. Unlike its neighbors, Khmer cuisine is less spicy, but this does not mean it is any less delicious. Here, harmony of freshness reigns, where each ingredient, from herbs to fish, plays its unique role. In every corner of the country, from bustling markets to quiet villages, cooks proudly showcase their recipes, passing them down from generation to generation. How did it come to be that Khmer cuisine, despite its simplicity, is a true art form? Perhaps it is because each ingredient here is not just food, but a part of a rich cultural history, where traditions, rituals, and myths intertwine. And as in other aspects of Khmer life, the mystery of Khmer cuisine remains unsolved, leaving us with the question, what other culinary depths lie hidden beyond the known recipes waiting to be discovered? Fact 6. Unknown threats, mines and ammunition in Cambodia. Despite its beautiful landscapes and rich culture, Cambodia remains one of the most heavily mined countries in the world, with the lingering consequences of decades of wars and conflicts still poisoning the lives of local residents. Hundreds of thousands of mines and unexploded ordnance lie hidden in the ground, posing a threat to the lives and health of people. While strolling through the streets, you may encounter individuals with amputated limbs who stand as living testimony to the dangerous aftermath wrought by these invisible foes. How is it possible that such horrifying consequences of war continue to affect people in the 21st century? Perhaps it is because many areas of the country remain unexplored and uncleared of explosive remnants, creating an atmosphere of constant fear and uncertainty. However, amidst this grim reality, there are also bright moments. Specially trained mine-detecting rats have become true heroes in the fight against this threat. These small creatures, with their incredible sense of smell, are capable of locating mines, significantly accelerating the demining process. Imagine a tiny rat scouring abandoned fields where war once raged, saving lives and allowing people to return to their homes and resume their daily activities. But what is it like to witness war continuing to leave its mark, even many years after its end? This unresolved mystery remains with us, prompting us to ask ourselves, how many more lives will be affected before these invisible threats are completely eradicated? With each passing year, we become increasingly aware that a mine-free world remains merely a dream for many residents of Cambodia. Fact 7. Floating villages. Life on the waters of Lake Tonle Sap. In the heart of Cambodia lies a remarkable ecosystem where entire communities exist on the water rather than on land. Lake Tonle Sap, the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia, expands several times during the rainy season, transforming the surrounding areas into a vast aquatic world. This natural phenomenon has become the foundation for a unique way of life for the locals, who have adapted to conditions that would seem impossible for most. Imagine floating homes perched on wooden platforms, distorting the reflections of the endless waters, while narrow canals are slowly navigated by boats brimming with people, goods, and fish. Here, in these water villages, you will find floating schools where children learn to read and write, and their teachers, like captains, guide them through the shimmering waterways of knowledge. Shops and churches also float, providing residents with everything they need for life and spiritual communion. How have they managed to create such a unique culture, where each day is a challenge and an adventure? The fishing lifestyle has become an integral part of their existence. Locals catch fish using traditional methods passed down through generations, sharing their catches with neighbors and fostering an atmosphere of community and mutual support. Yet, within this idyllic picture lie challenges: how to preserve their culture and way of life in the face of climate change and water pollution. The answers to these questions remain unclear, but one thing is certain. Life on Lake Tonle Sap is full of mysteries and enigmas that continue to intrigue researchers and travelers alike. Perhaps in the future, we will be able to unravel these mysteries and understand how to preserve this unique culture for future generations. How many more stories are hidden beneath the water's surface, waiting to be told? Fact 8. The spirits of Nok and Prey, invisible guardians of the Cambodians. In a world where Buddhism holds a central place, Cambodians do not forget their roots tied to ancient beliefs. How do they manage to combine these two seemingly different traditions? In every home, one can find a small altar, arranged with particular care and attention. This is not merely a decorative item, but an important element of daily life, symbolizing a connection to the spirits that the locals refer to as Nok and Prey. These spirits protect the home, its inhabitants, and even their prosperity. Before any significant event, whether it be the construction of a new house or the celebration of an important occasion, Cambodians approach the altar to seek permission from the spirits. They make offerings of fruits, flowers, and even food, hoping for blessings and protection. Surrounding each house are small spirit houses that also require attention. They are adorned, kept clean, and regularly filled with offerings. These houses serve as guardians, tasked with protecting not only the dwelling, but also its occupants from malevolent spirits. It is fascinating how deeply rooted these traditions are in people's consciousness. Even in the modern world where technology and science are becoming increasingly significant, belief in unseen forces continues to play an important role in the lives of Cambodians. How do they manage to maintain this unique practice despite the official religion? Some researchers suggest that this is due to the need to find a balance between modernity and the traditions that have shaped culture over the centuries. But perhaps there is another reason, a desire to preserve the connection with their ancestors and remember their origins. How many more secrets are hidden within these rituals and beliefs that continue to be passed down through generations? And how many more mysteries await their moment to be revealed? Fact 9. Apsara, a dance that ascends to the heavens. In the heart of Cambodia lies a mystery, encapsulated in the graceful movements of dancers performing the ancient Khmer dance of Apsara. This dance, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage, seems to bring to life the legends of the past, telling tales of celestial beings who descend to Earth. Elegant hand gestures, fluid movements, and refined costumes create an incredible atmosphere, where every element holds significance and each detail embodies centuries-old traditions and culture. But how did this remarkable dance, so vital to the identity of the nation, nearly vanish? During the reign of the Khmer Rouge, when the world plunged into chaos and violence, dances and traditions faced annihilation. Almost all the dancers fell victim to this horrific regime, and the art that had been passed down through generations teetered on the brink of extinction. How was this unique cultural code preserved? In recent decades, following the fall of the Khmer Rouge, Cambodians have begun a vigorous revival of the Apsara tradition. Young dancers are once again learning this art, while elder masters share with them the secrets they have kept in their hearts. By reviving the Apsara, they are not only bringing the dance back to life, but also restoring a connection to the cultural heritage that was almost lost forever. Some believe that Apsara is not merely a dance, but a living expression of the soul of the people, with the breath of antiquity felt in every movement. What other secrets lie hidden within this art? What are the true roots of Apsara? And how are they intertwined with the myths and legends passed down through the ages? Perhaps the answers to these questions hold the key to understanding not only the dance, but also the very essence of the Cambodian people, who, despite all trials, continue to preserve and transmit their culture. Fact 10. The bamboo train, a mysterious mode of transport in the heart of Cambodia. In the province of Battambang, an astonishing transport system hides, still alive among the abandoned railway tracks, like an echo of the past. Local residents, demonstrating incredible ingenuity, have created makeshift platforms made of bamboo and equipped with motorcycle engines. These bamboo trains, sometimes called nori, have become a true tourist attraction, drawing travelers in with their unique charm and adventurous atmosphere. Imagine this. You are sitting on a platform, surrounded by picturesque rice fields and dense jungles, as the bamboo train speeds along the rusty rails, leaving clouds of dust in its wake. But this is not just the romanticism of travel. Each time two bamboo trains meet on the tracks, a real spectacle unfolds. One of the trains stops, and its passengers, like actors on a stage, disassemble the platform to allow the other to pass. How has such a peculiar system managed to remain relevant in a world of modern technology? Perhaps it is because the locals have found in it not just a means of transportation, but also an expression of their culture and traditions. Every bamboo train undoubtedly carries the stories of the people who have traveled these paths over the years. But how much longer will this tradition last? With each passing year, more modern vehicles are infiltrating the province, and the question of the bamboo train's future becomes increasingly pressing. Will this unique phenomenon remain a part of history, or will it become merely a memory of the past? Perhaps it is in this contradiction between tradition and modernity that the true essence of Cambodian culture lies, where every detail, every platform holds untold mysteries and enigmas waiting to be uncovered. Fact 11. Collective weddings, the magic of unity in Cambodia. Every year, an astonishing mass wedding ceremony takes place in Cambodia, resembling a magical event that gathers hundreds of couples in one place, transforming an ordinary day into a grand celebration of love and hope. This tradition emerged as a response to the economic difficulties faced by many families who cannot afford expensive wedding ceremonies. In such cases, the government or generous sponsors take on the organization of collective weddings, where dreams of love become a reality. Imagine the atmosphere: vibrant outfits, the sounds of music, joyful faces, and endless smiles as the newlyweds come together to celebrate not only their relationships, but also their shared fate. During this 3-day celebration, couples go through numerous rituals, each imbued with deep meaning. One of the most touching moments is the hair-cutting ritual, which symbolizes the beginning of a new life. At this moment, surrounded by family and friends, the couples bid farewell to their past, leaving behind old identities to step into the future with new hopes and dreams. How could such an event unite so many people? Perhaps it is tied to the essence of Cambodian culture, where community and closeness to loved ones hold significant places in each person's life. This tradition not only strengthens the bonds between families, but also creates an atmosphere of unity, demonstrating that love and support can overcome any barriers. But what lies behind this tradition? How will the rapid development of the economy and changing social norms impact the future of Cambodian weddings? Each of these weddings holds untold mysteries and dreams that await their moment. How many more of these unfinished stories are hidden within the depths of our civilization? Fact 12. The mystery of the killing fields, mass killings and their consequences in Cambodia. In the history of Cambodia, there is a dark chapter that cannot be overlooked when discussing the suffering of its people. The era of the Khmer Rouge and their brutal policies that led to mass executions. The killing fields is not just a name. It is a place where thousands of innocent lives were erased from the face of the earth as a result of a ruthless campaign aimed at annihilating the entire intelligentsia of the country. Since the early 70s, when Pol Pot came to power, a system of terror was established with the goal of creating an agrarian socialist society. The S-21 prison, formerly a school, became a symbol of this horror. Here, thousands of individuals were tortured before being sent to their deaths in the killing fields, where their bodies were simply buried in mass graves. Strangely, even simple things like glasses could lead to arrest. Wearing them was seen as a sign of education, and, consequently, a threat to the regime. How could a country, once rich in culture and intellect, find itself in such a horrific state? Who were these people who did not live to old age? This led to catastrophic consequences for the demographic structure of Cambodia. To this day, there are so few elderly people in the country that it is noticeable even to travelers. How could this happen? The answer to this question remains a mystery, and every Cambodian carries within them the shadow of those who were lost. But this tragedy is not merely a lesson of history. It also raises numerous questions about how swiftly a society can change and at what cost. Can we ever comprehend the full depth of this suffering? What are the repercussions of such mass tragedies for the culture and identity of a people? Perhaps similar stories, filled with pain and hope, are hidden not only in Cambodia, but also in other corners of the world waiting to be uncovered and illuminated once more. Fact 13. The mystery of the God King Jayavarman VII. Grandeur and fear in the Khmer Empire. On the horizon of the ancient Khmer Empire, the God King Jayavarman VII suddenly emerged, a figure whose name and deeds continue to captivate the minds of historians and archaeologists. He was not merely a ruler, but a true monarch who managed to create an era of prosperity unparalleled in history. Under his leadership, grand temples were constructed, such as the famous Angkor Wat, as well as entire cities that significantly transformed the landscape of the region. Yet his greatness extended beyond architectural achievements. Jayavarman VII established an extensive network of hospitals that provided medical care to all strata of society. How could he, in the conditions of the ancient world, once bring about such order and care for his subjects? His cult of personality reached unprecedented heights. After his death, he was venerated as a god, and his images adorned temples where he was revered as a protector and savior. However, despite his divine legacy, there exists one troubling detail. The images of Jayavarman VII were deliberately defaced by his successors. Why? What could have instigated such fear of his power even centuries after his death? Perhaps subsequent rulers feared his enduring strength and influence, which continued to resonate even through time. Historians recognize that his reign marked a turning point in the history of the Khmer Empire. Yet no one can explain how it came to be that following his death, his cult became a symbol of both grandeur and fear. What mysteries do the temples built in his honor conceal, and what messages might be held within their stone walls? What were the true motives of those who came after him, and how did they interpret his legacy? The enigma of Jayavarman VII remains unsolved, leaving us with the question, how many more such majestic figures await discovery in the depths of history? Fact 14. The Festival of Ancestors' Souls, the Mystery of Chum Ben. Every year in Cambodia, there comes a time when the worlds of the living and the dead intersect, a time known as Pi Chum Ben, or the Festival of Ancestors' Souls. During this unique period, Cambodians believe that the gates of hell open, allowing the spirits of deceased relatives to return to the earth to receive recognition and respect from the living. The atmosphere of this celebration is infused with something mystical. The night sky is illuminated by the lights of oil lamps, while distant sounds of prayers and songs create a sensation that we are on the border of two worlds. People meticulously prepare for this event by gathering rice balls, which they throw onto the ground as a sign of generosity towards the hungry spirits. These simple offerings symbolize care and respect for those who have left this world, while also reminding us of the importance of the connection between generations. However, for Cambodians, this festival is not merely a tribute to memory. There is a belief that if the unsettled souls do not receive the proper respect, they may curse their living relatives, turning their lives into a hellish existence. Consequently, many families embark on pilgrimages, visiting up to 7 temples in one night to pay homage to their ancestors and appease their spirits. Each temple is filled with vibrant memories, adorned with flowers. They resonate with whispers of prayers and recollections of those who have departed. But what truly happens when these souls return? What is their true nature, and how do they perceive the offerings of respect brought to them by the living? Yet one thing remains constant. The Chum Ben festival remains a mystery that stirs the mind, prompting reflection on the secrets of life and death hidden in the shadows of ancient Cambodian temples. What are the true motives of those who return to us on this special day? And what secrets might they share if only they could speak? Fact 15. The mystery of the underground tunnels beneath Angkor. Treasures or curses? In the heart of Cambodia, beneath the majestic temples of Angkor Wat, lie the enigmatic underground tunnels, which remain unexplored and laden with secrets. Recent discoveries made using LiDAR laser technology have opened new horizons for archaeologists and researchers, offering a glimpse into a world long forgotten. These tunnels may not merely be constructions, but rather an entire network stretching underground, connecting temples that once served as spiritual centers of the Khmer civilization. Local legends breathe life into this narrative. Many believe that supernatural beings inhabit these dark corridors, guarding ancient treasures and relics hidden from the gaze of mere mortals. Archaeologists exploring these areas encounter numerous enigmas. What secrets might lie within the depths of the earth? What compelled the ancient Khmers to close the doors of their sanctuaries, leaving behind only whispers and legends? The treasures rumored to exist may include not only gold and jewels, but also religious artifacts imbued with powerful spiritual significance, perhaps intended to protect against evil spirits or to communicate with higher powers. Yet, despite all efforts, the tunnels remain uncharted, and many questions await their answers. Some researchers suggest that these underground structures could have been part of a complex system designed for protection against external threats, while others believe they served as places for rituals of which we can only speculate. What are the true purposes and intentions of these tunnels? Why were they left to the whims of fate, while their secrets remain shrouded in time? Perhaps this place is guarded not only by legends, but by something more sinister than we can imagine. Thus, the mystery of the underground tunnels of Angkor remains unsolved, enticing explorers and adventurers alike, promising new discoveries and, perhaps, new enigmas waiting for their moment to be unveiled. Cambodia, a country where ancient traditions intertwine with modern aspirations. Against the backdrop of the majestic Angkor temples, which hold the traces of bygone civilizations, we witness a tragic history that has found hope for the future. This is a place where every stone whispers of great achievements and harrowing trials, prompting reflection on the importance of cherishing peace and our rich cultural heritage. We have only scratched the surface of the multifaceted nature of this extraordinary country, but perhaps it is in this mystery that its true strength lies. How can the history of Cambodia teach us to appreciate what we have and respect the cultural differences that make our world so diverse? For older viewers who remember the times of the Cold War, the history of Cambodia in the latter half of the 20th century may evoke particularly strong feelings. Their life experiences allow for a deeper understanding of the scale of the tragedies endured by this nation and highlight the importance of remembering the past in order to build a better future. We invite you to share in the comments which facts about Cambodia surprised you the most. What aspect of life in this country would you like to learn more about? If you have already visited Cambodia, please leave your impressions. They could serve as a source of inspiration for other adventurers. The mysteries of Cambodia continue to entice, leaving many questions unanswered. What other enigmas lie beneath its sunny skies and within its green jungles? Perhaps this is just the beginning of our shared journey into a world where every step reveals new horizons and undiscovered secrets.